me turn the fan on. It's a little warm in here today. It is a little warm in here today, for sure, for sure. Welcome in, everyone. Hello, hello. It's a little bright. I just got done walking on my treadmill, so not only do I have oil on and it's running down my skin and like into my eyes, but I'm also a little sweaty. I can't even lie, I'm a little sweaty. We walked for about 30 minutes and then I did my arm exercises because I'm trying to slim my arms down. Like they're doing pretty good, but now I'm like getting like little stretch marks because my arm muscles, they were coming back and then I slacked off and I stopped. So I'm trying to get my little arm muscles back, and they've slimmed down like quite a bit since I've gone plant-based. Like I feel like my arm used to like have a bunch of like that like sticking out, if that makes sense, like the extra fat. And so I've been trying to slim down my arms, so I've been doing a whole lot of like wall push-ups and things so I can get strong enough to do like real push-ups versus girl push-ups, because I've been doing girl push-ups for many years. I've never really done guy push-ups for like maybe 2 years of my life. I did guy push-ups, but all of my other life has been like girl push-ups. But today, hello, for everybody that's coming in, we're gonna be talking about breaking the cycle. Oh, I don't have my earrings in, y'all. Oh, I feel naked. I don't have my earrings. Now that I feel they're all the way in the other room, I'm not going to get them. But today we're gonna be talking about breaking the cycle of the blood sugar chaos that a lot of people are going through right now. Because you have to unlock your body's power of healing and understanding what that comes with that and understanding how to do that effectively. And so for the people that are in here currently right now, have you ever felt like no matter what you eat, you're constantly hungry, you're constantly craving sugar, and then after you eat, you feel like you're so tired and you're sluggish and you're fatigued, and then you also feel like after the fact overall you struggle to lose weight, you struggle to maintain a healthy weight, you're struggling overall because there's an imbalance. You just feel like there's something off, there's something wrong. I don't know what this came from, but it's a little sticky piece of something. I'm getting so distracted today, y'all. But do you feel like that there's an issue? Do you feel like there's an imbalance? And if you do you feel like it's bad luck? Do you feel like it's just something that you have to go through, or that your family members go through, and that it's just something that everybody has to deal with because at the end of the day it all runs through your family? I'm here to tell you that this is not bad luck. This is not something that runs in your family. This is not something you have to struggle with. I do not make protein shakes at all. I don't use any protein powders or shakes, or like if I want to make let's say I want to make a smoothie or something, I can do that and I will make that if I'm craving it. But far as like, oh, I have to get my protein in, let me make a protein shake, I do not. I don't add anything supplemented in for like powders or anything like that unless I'm just feeling like I want it. But necessarily have to, I do not have to, because I eat and I use food as my medicine. I make sure that I eat all the nutrients that I need. And so we talk about that a lot. I do have a plant-based mastery playlist on YouTube. If you have not followed me or subscribed on YouTube, I suggest you go check that out, because that's plenty of free content for you to understand like what I do, how to use food as medicine, all the topics that we've talked about in the past. But this whole process of you being tired and sluggish and fatigued, always craving sugar, always feeling hungry, always feeling like you have an inability to lose weight or maintain a healthy weight, you have to understand that that is your body's sign to tell you, and it's trying to get you to understand that it's in distress. That's your body's way of telling you it's fighting, it's in fight or flight mode, and it's struggling. This is a sign that so many people are ignoring, and that's the reason why diabetes is really taking over the way that it is, and it's shifting to the point where diabetes is going to be the new cancer. When you really sit here and you look at how society is with the illnesses and diseases, cancer is always going to be cancer. It's always going to be the top thing of the problem, the issue. But we have to realize that diabetes is ramping up to get to that point where it's about to be neck and neck with cancer. And we're not really looking at it that way because so many people manage diabetes. They manage with their insulin. They get their insulin medicines. They get their shots. They get their surgeries. They take their, Ozempic and all these different things because that's what they tell you to do, to go take these medications. But you don't understand that we are in the middle of a health crisis. You're not really putting two and two together that we're in the middle of a health crisis because they're not making it a national crisis. They're not making it an issue because they're making money off of you. They're making a profit. And so millions of people are sitting here dealing with these blood sugar issues currently right now, and they're thinking that they have to manage it with some type of prescription or medication, or that they have to deal with this for the rest of their life because that's what their doctor diagnosed them with. And you're not realizing whether you know it or not, the fact that you can help your body heal. Your body is able to heal itself from the inside out. All you have to do is start using food as your medicine and understanding how to incorporate different foods for you to feel full, for you to not feel fatigued, for you to not crave this unhealthy sugar, for you to actually be able to maintain and keep a healthy weight, for you to lose weight if that's what you need to do, for you to gain weight if that's what you need to do. Because all of this comes from you using food as your medicine, understanding how to do it properly. And so you have to realize the fact that you have been ignoring your body for way too long. You've been ignoring the signs, you've been ignoring the symptoms, and it only gets worse. As society, when you look at us, you see it only gets worse as you keep ignoring the fact that your body's telling you with this fatigue, it's telling you with this mental fog, it's telling you with this this unhealthy balance of weight, that it's trying to get your attention to be like, hey, you're not eating what I need. You're not flushing me like I need you to. You're not giving me vitamin A, C, D, and all this stuff. You're not giving me healthy, proper fiber. Instead, you're going and you're getting these different type of momentary fibers with fiber 1 bars, which is fake fiber. Your body does not recognize fake fiber. Your body does not recognize this fake vitamin C, A, D, and all this different stuff that they add inside of your processed foods and tell you that it's okay because it still has vitamin A, C, and D. All your body does is recognize that as something that's not natural, which then it stores. And when it stores inside of your body, it keeps it as like a toxin, which makes you inflamed because these things store inside of your fat cells. You should be constantly flushing. You should be constantly releasing. And so when your body is holding on to these things like processed sugars, these fake fibers, these fake vitamin A and C and D, you realize that you're only sitting there getting worse with your weight fluctuation. You're only getting worse with your fatigue. You're wondering why you're never having any energy even though you slept for 10 hours. Because your body is not giving the energy. It's not converting anything to energy. It's not using the foods that you eat because it can't. It's just storing and holding on to it and hoping that it can use it on a rainy day when in reality it's never going to be able to use it because it's not natural. And so the good news in the break free that you are going to get is your body is craving healing because that's the reason why it's giving you these signs. That's the reason why it's trying to talk to you. That's the reason why it's telling you you're fatigued. That's the reason why it's still telling you, hey, when you eat this crap, it gives you a stomach ache or you get a headache or you sit there and you gain weight all of a sudden and you're trying to figure out why you look so bloated the next day. Your body is still talking to you. It's still speaking to you. So it's trying to get your attention still. So that means you are not in the red zone. Because when you're in the red zone, that's when you start having to have surgeries. That's when you start to develop cancer. When you're in the red zone, that's when you start going in and out of the hospital. That's when you have to keep going back and forth to the doctor and have all these tests done and all these things done. That's when you're in the red zone. You're right now in that medium gray yellow area where your body is saying, hey, if you don't fix this, it's going to get worse. You need to start learning how to prevent these things because it's only going to get worse. And too many people are in this yellow, red, gray zone, not understanding that they're leading themselves to the red zone. You're all going down the same path. And if you were in the space where you realize this and you want change, then obviously you're here for a reason, for one. And two, stay tuned for this live so you'll understand and we can get to what we need to do, why we need to do it, and what is needing to shift as far as our habits and our lifestyle and what we have to do in order for us to help our generation heal, the next generation heal, and show that healing is possible for the people that are here currently right now that are grown, that are doing all these surgeries, taking all these medications, and not realizing their body's true design. And so you have to understand first and grasp the concept that it is possible for you to reverse these issues and to help your body heal. When you are focusing on using your food as your medicine and focusing on how you can change and establish healthier habits for yourself, your body will reverse these things naturally. If you are ready for a change, you will start instantly and you will see a difference within a couple of weeks, a month. But if you are not ready and you are not dedicated, you're going to sit there and prolong your healing. You're going to prolong the issue. And that's what leads you to developing chronic illnesses, developing cancer, developing all these different issues, diabetes, having high blood pressure, having kidney disease, kidney failure, having heart failure, having liver failure. There are warning signs before you get there, and so are you listening to them? And I want you to stick with me while I break this down so that you understand what is happening inside of you if you're dealing with weight fluctuation and you're dealing with diabetes or you're dealing with just blood sugar issues and regulation overall. Because we have to understand how this is affecting our body for us to correct it, for us to get to the root cause and to fix it, for you to be able to take back that control that you deserve. And so it starts with first looking at your plate, understanding what you're eating, understand how much you eat in a day and what you're eating in a day. If you are constantly hungry, like I said in the beginning, the problem is that you are not regulating your blood sugar. If you are constantly feeling tired and fatigued, you are not regulating your blood sugar. And so the problem number one is regulating. The problem is what is it? Not managing. What is the word I'm thinking of? The problem is getting to stability. That's the word I'm thinking of. And so let's look at the statistics first and understand how many people are suffering just like you, so you don't feel alone, one, and two, you understand how this really is a crisis. Because over 375 million Americans alone are sitting here dealing with diabetes. They're sitting here dealing with pre-diabetic symptoms. Over 37 million people. And more specifically, for the people that are dealing with pre-diabetic issues, we're all the way up to 96 million people. 96 million people are dealing with pre-diabetic symptoms. And oftentimes these people don't ever do anything about it because they ignore the warning signs. And so they go undiagnosed, which then eventually leads them to having diabetes. So that right there telling you that people have pre-diabetes and they don't even realize it because it says it's undiagnosed. People don't realize that they are throwing their blood sugar off regularly, every single day, having unstable blood sugar. When you can stabilize it all with the foods that you are eating and understanding the combinations and why you need fiber, why you need protein, why you need iron, why you have to combine these things when you're breaking your fast, which is breakfast, when you're doing breakfast, why you need these certain things, even when you're eating natural fruits, for your blood sugar to be regulated and stable and you to be flushing when you start your day, for your lunch to give you that stabilizer to make it to dinner so you won't be hungry, to make it through your day so you won't be tired after you eat and sluggish after you eat. There are different things that you have to hit that they're not telling you and they're not teaching you. Thanks for the follows, guys. Because insulin resistance is literally the onset of you having pre-diabetic symptoms, is the onset of you developing diabetes. You having insulin resistance is your body sitting there saying, I don't know what to do with this sugar anymore. I can't regulate myself and actually use this sugar as energy. So instead of me converting this sugar into energy, now I'm going to start resisting it. Now I'm going to hold on to it and put it in my gut. Now I'm going to constantly be flushing it through my body, which flushing it is not using it, but rather just going to the bathroom constantly craving sugar so I can get new sugars in. Like, you have to really sit there and put two and two together with the things that happen when you go through this process. When you were sitting there eating, for instance, you eat your good meal, you get done with your meal, and you sit back and you're like, man, I really need something sweet. 10 minutes goes by and you're like, man, I really, really need something sweet. 30 minutes go by and now at that point you're getting angry. Like, you're like, oh my God, I have to have something sweet. Now you're up and you're searching and you're looking in crevices and corners knowing that you didn't buy anything sweet because you're saying to yourself, I don't need to eat anything else sweet. That's your body telling you it's not expelling sugar effectively. It's not using the sugar that you have eaten. It's not using the sugar that you have from either the meal that you ate then, the snack that you ate then, or whatever else that you have that's coming in contact with your body. And so now it's sitting here not being able to convert energy effectively. Instead, it stores up these sugars, it stores up these unhealthy fats, it stores up all this junk that you put inside of your body, and you struggle to expel it, which causes hormonal chaos, which causes hormonal imbalances. And when you really look at it on a deeper point, a deeper thought process on an energetic level, the energy that you're putting inside of your body when you are causing this hormonal chaos is also causing you to have instability with the brain. Sugar literally makes you go insane. That is scientific fact. They have so many different articles, if you do not believe me, talking about the connection between stability in the brain and instability in the brain and sugar. They talk about how the fact that even though they cannot directly pinpoint the fact that type 3 diabetes gives you Alzheimer's, they directly correlated sugar and Alzheimer's. So what leads you to having diabetes? Sugar. So I don't know how that's unrelated, but they can't directly correlate it like they say in scientific studies. But when you make the connections and use common sense, like a lot of us say that we have, if it leads you to having Alzheimer's by eating sugar, and sugar also leads you to having diabetes and insulin resistance, how is that not all connected? So really think about it on an energetic level, that you are sitting there throwing your brain off, your conscious self, all because of sugar. You're throwing off your balance, so now you're depressed, so you're anxious, you're having panic attacks, you're sitting here seeing stuff, schizophrenics, because a lot of people don't realize that the people that develop schizophrenia or develop it later in life, develop it earlier in life, honestly both. They don't realize how much crap they're eating until they develop schizophrenia. And then the number one thing is recommended is watch your intake of sugar. Watch what you're consuming. Don't consume alcohol. Don't consume excess sugars. They start telling you these things when you develop schizophrenia because that's a dangerous illness. But when you have something like diabetes, something that they can profit off of, that they enjoy profiting off of, they're not going to tell you all of that. They're going to wait until you sit there and develop Alzheimer's. And then they're going to tell you, oh, well, get them special care help. Go put them in a home. And then still give them these medications until they unalive. It's a complete process of putting your body in stress. It's a complete circle of stress if you don't see the cycle. You're stressing yourself out. You're stressing your family members out. You're stressing your body internally and externally. It's a complete process of stress. And we know what stress looks like externally. But do you understand what it looks like internally? Do you know what internal stress looks like? A lot of people don't. And how I know a lot of people don't is because they're doing autopsies on these bodies. Now, more and more people that are younger and younger, they're seeing a fact that their internal organs are working overtime. So their internal organs are 3 times their external age. That's internal stress. They're seeing things being stored in your liver, like for instance your Febreze, all of these different chemicals and smells that you have on your home, your perfumes, is storing inside of your liver. So when they cut you open and do an autopsy on your body, when they open the liver, it smells like Febreze. It smells like your perfumes. That's your body holding on to those toxins. Too many people are sitting here poisoning themselves because this is what is normal in our society, and this is what is regulated. According to them, they regulate these things. That should be a national crisis, that they can open up a body and sit there and smell Febreze inside and know that you spray Febreze and Lysol in your home. You sit there and spray your Chanel No. 5 every single day. That means your body is sitting there using and absorbing this and saying, well, I don't know what else to do with it. So it goes, well, let's just put it in the liver. This is the place that I'm supposed to be, regulating, detoxing, releasing. But let's hold it in the liver because I don't want this in your bloodstream. So I have to put it in your liver, even though it still is coming in contact with your bloodstream, because anything that comes in contact with your skin within 24 seconds, it's absorbed. And majority of you will sit there and spray perfume all up and down, all on your intimate, your, what are these called? Your hot points. I can't think of the word exactly right now, but the hot points, the points that makes the fragrance more aromatherapy. I don't know what to call it right now. On the top of my head, all the aroma enhanced. And you don't realize the fact that that is going directly into your bloodstream, spraying it on your intimate parts, your lymph nodes. You're spraying it on different parts of your body. You're spraying it on your intimate parts down there, ladies. That is the most sensitive skin that you have, the most absorbent skin that you have. Pulse points. Thank you. I couldn't think of what the word was. Thank you. You're spraying it on your pulses, all of your pulses. That is your bloodstream. That's literally where your connection between your vein all the way to your heart. Your vein all the way to your heart. This is how they test to make sure that you are still breathing. They make sure that everything is still going. When somebody passes out, what do they tell you to do? Check their pulse. You're spraying it on your pulse and not expecting to have any repercussions. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Truly, it doesn't. And so you have to realize that your body becomes unstable with all of these sugars that you add in. All this is toxic sugar, because the natural sugar is different from the toxic sugar. But when you overconsume the toxic processed sugars that you get every single day with this white sugar, with this brown sugar, the crap that you eat from your Oreos, your Swedish fish, all this different stuff that you think, oh, it tastes so good and it gives you all this dopamine, all of that stuff does not effectively get expelled out, and your body becomes ineffective to regulate your blood sugar. So that's the reason why you become insulin resistant, because your body cannot recognize any sugar anymore because you have thrown off the balance. But when you are correctly consuming sugar the way that you should be, which is the natural sugars, and even when you do come in contact with a little bit of the non-natural sugar, if you decide that you want to go get a snack or a little treat, because I have vegan places that have snacks and treats, but they don't use the sugar like I do at home. They still use white processed sugar, for instance. If I go and I get that, I can tell the difference. My body knows the difference. So then it starts to give me warning signs. But society nowadays, and how I was before I went plant-based, I can tell you, your body's not giving you any warning signs, because I can tell the difference from when I was before till now, because my body used to sit there and just say sugar is sugar. At the end of the day, we're going to expel it. We're going to keep flushing it. You're going to have to keep going to the bathroom all night because sugar is sugar. Now my body says, ooh, the natural sugar is good. We crave this. The processed sugar, we don't crave this as much. And so when I do get it, my body is flushing. It's constantly like, no, this is not what I need. And it makes me break out. I had some sugar. It makes me break out. My skin used to be like, it would be rarely break out. And when it did, it would leave dark spots. But when I tell you now, if I eat processed sugar, non-natural sugars, and that includes like if I eat agave, if I eat regular sugar like cane sugar, if I eat the natural sugars, it doesn't do that. But if I eat brown sugar, white sugar, it does this. And so you have to understand that if you are going to sit there and figure out and get to the root cause, start with sugar. Start with the fact that it stores inside of your fat cells and it struggles to expel it. Get that concept in your brain. Understand that and realize it's causing hormonal chaos. Realize it's not supporting you. And then start changing the habits that you have when it comes to sugar. So if you want to have your favorite snacks, find alternatives that don't use the crap. Don't use the toxic sugars. Don't have a bunch of additives and fillers. Because there are plenty of different brands that are starting to revamp and to remake these snacks without all the crap in it. It's just a matter of what you're going to do and how you're going to find it. If you need plant-based recipes, I do have an amazing cookbook that is linked in my bio. We'll show you, it's a beginner-friendly guide. It's more based on the recipes that I made in the beginning, and it's also inspiration for people who are in the lifestyle that just need more recipes to cook, that need support, and that need help in that space. And so I want you to understand that your blood sugar has been so dysregulated for years on end. And this dysregulation happens because you're eating unhealthy sugars, processed foods. You're eating an excessive amount of carbs, which also spikes your blood sugar. So it's deeper than just you going and getting this brown sugar, getting this white sugar that is in your Oreos, your Swedish Fish, you going to get Captain Crunch, your Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It's deeper than that. It's overeating carbs as well. Because I know when I first went plant-based, I was eating a lot of carbs because I was trying to make myself feel comfortable in the space. And yes, I was consuming them, but I realized very early on that overconsumption was causing a problem in my body. That was the first 3 months of me trying in the trial error, the trial, give and take of I'm trying this. Oh, I don't like that. That's not working. It got me in the space, but it didn't keep me healthy. And so I do, for instance, like when you're in my program, I help you get over those hurdles of all the things that I struggled with and all the things that like I had wrong in the beginning, because I thought that like, okay, me being vegan, this was going to support me. Me eating vegan products was going to support me. And then I went into the space of being plant-based and all those hurdles got knocked down. There was no other issues that I had after that. And so I teach in that program that getting in the space of healthy eating and understanding how to eat your favorite snacks or finding your favorite snacks without having all the crap in it, not eating soy, not eating excessive carbs, getting your enough protein and understanding the point of protein without having powders, supplements, all these different things. Because the first thing we focus on is using food as your medicine, getting all of the fiber that you need, because not enough people are getting fiber. And especially in America, we are lacking fiber. That's why they have to add fiber into our food, but it's fake fiber. It's not real fiber. And so when we sit here and add in this fake fiber, it stores in our fat cells, just like all the other toxic foods. Over time, when you were sitting there with this dysregulated blood sugar, spiking your blood sugar, spiking your insulin, you realize that it forces your pancreas to work overtime, to overproduce insulin to help you try to regulate yourself. That means your pancreas is working that overtime. Like I said, our organs are 3 times our external age when we're stressing ourselves out, right? So you're making your pancreas work 3 times what it actually should be. Eventually, your cells are going to stop working. They're going to stop responding. They're going to stop producing as much as they do, replicating as much as they do, which leads you to having insulin resistance. And so let's really think about that, because I was watching a doctor, I think on TikTok. Say I struggle with protein as bad as a vegan of 7 years. I can say for me being 4 years in, I do not struggle with getting my protein in. If you are looking for recipes for inspiration and things like that, I do have the cookbook in my bio, like I said. And if you need support, like one-on-one support, I have one-on-ones. You can DM me. We can talk about this. But I want you to understand the fact that over time, your cells stop responding. So that means that they stop repairing themselves like they used to. And so when you think about the fact in the space of diabetes, it affects your hearing. It can affect your limbs, which you can lose a limb. It can affect your eyesight. It blocks different pathways. It blocks different functions. And that is another sign that your body is telling you it's shutting down. And so think about the fact that, well, I'm so glad, I'm so happy to have you here. Think about the fact that when, for instance, diabetes, a lot of people go blind. A lot of people lose limbs. A lot of people go blind. So when you think about how their cells have stopped responding and replicating like they should be, this doctor I saw on TikTok was making the point of when you are insulin resistant, that sugar starts to like build like gunk. And it's kind of crazy to think about them doing surgeries and them trying to help people keep their eyesight if they are losing their eyesight, or people actually completely losing their eyesight and then gaining it back after because they change the way that they regulate their blood sugar and they start to heal themselves. But the first moment of them realizing that they have lost their eyesight because of their diabetes and their sugar intake is them going in and trying to figure out what's going on. And when they go in and try to figure out what's going on, it's literally gunked to their eye. Sugar. And we talk about this a lot, and I've talked about this a lot in the past, but I'm going to say this again. Think about the fact that when you are gaining excessive weight, where it goes to your lower belly, it goes to your arms, it goes to your face. There is really no vital organs in your face, in your arms. In your lower belly, yes, you have your reproductive system, but that area takes a whole lot of hits. It shouldn't, but it takes a whole lot of hits. You develop PCOS, you develop fibroids, you develop cysts as a woman, you have painful menstrual cycles. All of these things relate to the fact that you have an overbuildup in your lower belly, correct? Right. But once it gets to the point where your body has nowhere else to store it, and yes, you can keep packing on fat, you can keep packing on excess and bloating. But when it starts to say, well, that's not working, they're not listening to me, your back is big, like everybody likes to talk about now, and everything else is big, now it starts to store in other places. It'll go to your heart, give you fatty liver. It'll give you a fatty kidney or whatever else that can happen. It starts to store in blood. Your bloodstream is now full of sugar. Your eyes are full of sugar. You're really not realizing that you are affecting not only your internal body, you're also affecting your brain, not just your organs, because your brain has a blood-brain barrier. But when the sugar is literally calcifying and it's moving and it's becoming a part of you, where it's now binding to these cells that go through your bloodstream, that's passing your blood-brain barrier. Just like how they talk about microplastics, they pass your blood-brain barrier. So do parasites. They go past your blood-brain barrier. What do parasites feed off of? Tumors, sugar, meat. Parasites come from meat. They feed off of meat. They feed off of sugar. They thrive in the space that you are giving them. And there was another doctor that was on TikTok also talking about one of their horror stories that stuck with her years after. This has been years. She was talking about how she was doing brain surgery and she pulled out a random weird thing from their brain, from the tumor that they had, trying to figure out what it was, and it was a parasite. She said that parasite was huge. And it was so scarring, she could not believe how big the parasite was stuck in their brain. And she said it passed the blood-brain barrier. That's how we got to the point of sitting there feeding on that tumor that was in their brain. And people are not realizing that you are literally harming yourself just by the foods that you are eating. And you're not supporting your body, but you could be. Your body is thriving in the space of the little bit of health that you give it when you decide to eat salads. So why not, instead of sit there and be like, oh, I have to eat a salad to be healthy, oh, this sucks, learn how to eat and use food as your medicine by actually eating more fruits and vegetables and incorporating plant-based meals and understanding how to use this correctly. Understand how to support your body in healing, instead of just thinking that being healthy is you eating a salad, eating grass all day. Because I don't do that. I eat what I please. I eat what I want. I cleanse when I need to. And then in between then, I let myself get free reign of, okay, I want to make chicken tonight. I'm going to make chicken. Oh, I want to make tacos tonight. I'm going to make tacos. I want chili. I want whatever. I make it in a plant-based form, so I'm not feeding parasites into my body, making me toxic on the inside, but still enjoying the foods that I can eat and that I deserve to be able to eat. Because you see these people quoting the Bible on how we can eat meat, right? And I think it's so funny. They quote up and down in the Bible how we can eat meat. But when you look all throughout the Bible and they talk about it, the only time that they were ever actually eating meat the way that we do every single day in society is when there was a feast, when there was a festival, when it was a celebration. We eat meat every single day, if not all day, and then get mad if a meal does not have any meat on it. They weren't doing that. Like, people love to quote what they want to quote, but they don't want to take the whole Bible itself in the context and really break it down and make the connection, because it's not a separate book. People love to take what they need and then move on about it, but nothing in there is separate. Everything is supposed to be used together, right? Combined. So if it tells you in the Bible, like you say, that all meat has been sanctified under Yahushua HaMashiach passing away and him dying for us, if you say that all meat has been cleaned, why does it tell you all throughout the Bible to not eat pig? Why does it tell you all throughout the Bible that for holidays and celebrations, that's the time that they eat meat? Why does it tell you that it's better for you to have a plate of vegetables of love than a fatted calf of hatred? And that's a quote from the Bible. That's my favorite quote that I throw at people that love to talk about how they eat meat. I'm like, okay, but how many vegetables do you eat? Because it literally says in the Bible, better is a plate full of vegetables than a fatted calf full of hatred. What does the society feed you? Meat full of hatred. These people don't want to work when they're working. These factory workers, these fast food places, all these places you go to get this meat. These people don't want to make this meat. They don't want to cook for you. They don't want to be here. So what do? They put all that negative energy of, I hate it here, I hate this job, I hate what I'm doing, into your food. And you sit there and consume it. That is a fatted calf of hatred. They sit there and they produce these animals, mass produce them in these factories, have them locked up in the cages all their life, say that they're grass-fed, but in reality, all they're doing is they're not able to roam pastures. They're just sitting here putting them in barns and giving them grass and throwing it at them. That calf hates its life. That animal hates its life. It's not enjoying it. And then when it passes away, or they slaughter or whatever else, and they use the meat sit there and has cancer because they've been stressed out all their life. They didn't get the natural nutrients that they do when they just live their life. And so now they're sitting here holding on to that. And even with the people that say, well, I go to farmers markets and I get all this free range and all this different stuff, you don't realize the fact that these animals still develop cancer because they're given antibiotics. They're giving all these different prescriptions and medications. And then you're sitting there consuming that because they cut the cancer out of the meat. They still give these animals GMOs because they give them soy, which is all soy is GMO, all corn is GMO. What are the two things that they give them besides grass? Corn and soy. You consume these things and then wonder why you're ill. Because that animal was ill. That animal's full of parasites. It's full of cancer. It's full of antibiotics. And even if it's an antibiotic-free, non-additive-free, whatever crap for the meat, you have to realize when you're consuming dairy, specifically when you're consuming another animal's milk, let's really break it down. When you are a baby and you are breastfed by your mother, what happens? Her body tailors to what you need. She doesn't have to sit there and go, oh, I'm not giving you enough fiber. Let me add in do, and this automatically produce milk with fiber. Her body naturally does it. So think about the cow, who is also a mother to produce milk. What is she producing for her calf? Hormones. What are you consuming from the milk? Hormones. Even through the pasteurization process where it loses all of its nutrients, they're still adding things back in. That's additives and fillers. That's why I'm like, they lie to you with these labels and then y'all eat it up because, oh, this person has a title of a government official. That's what it works for me, as long as you have a title, right? They can lie to your face constantly like they do. As long as they have a title, as long as it's approved, you're going to eat it up. Thanks for the likes and the shares, guys. I really appreciate it. Like, it's truly insane. It's insane. It's insane. It's insanity that we expect for us to have a different outcome, but we all do the same thing. And so that's why I said that we have to release this blood sugar chaos. We have to break it. We have to break this bind that we have, because it's straight chaos. All of it's combined. We're talking about blood sugar. That's the title. But what have we hit? We've hit blood sugar. We're about to hit organs. We haven't even hit the full breakdown of organs yet. We've hit blood sugar. We are hitting a little bit of organs. We're going to continue with the organs. We're talking about inflammation. We're talking about parasites. We've talked about microplastics. We've hit so many different domains. All because you want to sit here and just regulate your body with the foods that you're eating, not realizing the damage that you're doing. Because this is science. I'm going to come with you facts, science, experience, because I've experienced all of this and I changed my lifestyle to a new one, and I've shifted, and I see how that helps. I see how it changes. I see how it supports you, because the hormonal domino effect is really, really hitting us hard. We're insulin resistant, which triggers our cravings, craves for sugar, craves for carbs. We're insulin resistant, which is going to trigger us to have weight gain, which causes weight fluctuation and instability, which cause a whole number of different issues when it comes to our organs, when it comes to our health and our gut, which also directly affects our brain. When your gut health is off, your brain is off. Anxiety, panic attacks, depression. What is going on with our society right now? People are anxious on all these antidepressants, struggling. Well, you have an amazing day. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for all the likes. If you guys have not followed me and you have to dip out, please follow me so you don't miss any more lives. If you're on my email list, you do get notifications when I go live. Every single time I go live, we hit weight gain. What was the next one? Insulin resistance also triggers you to have fatigue and brain fog. When you were sitting there having this fatigue and brain fog, well, you have to really sit down and look back at, if you can, because I know beforehand I couldn't, what are you eating that's causing this? Because it used to be, for me, I couldn't pinpoint it because every single thing that I ate was causing some type of issue, instability. So I couldn't just pinpoint one. But now the way that I eat, and I use food as my medicine, and I constantly eat the way that I should be to be actually nourishing my body, the times that I do get fatigued and I feel sluggish afterwards, I get brain fog, I can sit back and go, did I eat anything else besides just like hummus? No, I didn't. I didn't stabilize myself because all I gave myself was protein. I didn't get any other healthy fats. I didn't give myself X, Y, and Z. And so then I could sit there and go, okay, well, let me just go get some fruits really quickly to give me that sugar. So then I can also go stabilize myself with some seeds, some nuts, different things. Because I can look back at my past habits and be like, oh, because I know what I'm supposed to be doing. Dis-ease in the body, which is disease. If you break it down, dis-ease causes inflammation. Insulin resistance triggers inflammation. Insulin resistance is dis-ease. That's your body sitting there having an issue with regulating, which inflammation leads you to worsening and causing issues like PCOS, fibroids, cysts, you having different type of gut issues. IBS is running rampant through our society right now. If you don't know how bad IBS is, just look it up. If you don't know what IBS is, irritable bowel syndrome. They're talking about tuberculosis is making a comeback. Tuberculosis. They said it's making a comeback, a hard comeback. What causes tuberculosis? What feeds tuberculosis? You not taking care of your body this time of the year and you not knowing how to eat correctly. All of this inflammation is causing problems. It causes you to not have a regulated weight, no regulated mindset. But this inflammation leads you to having chronic diseases. Inflammation is the #1 feeder for cancer. Cancer thrives in the space of you being inflamed. Because we really don't think about it this way. Our body is fighting off cancer every single day. Every single day. There is no, like how they tell you people who had cancer, oh, they're in remission. What is it? Not remission. Remission. They go through cancer, they go in remission. Everybody is fighting cancer every single day because that's just the environment that we live in. That's just the world that we live in. It's a matter of if you are built with the right things to fight it and prevent it, or if you're built with inflammation and toxins, which feeds it. If you're built with parasites, it feeds it. Understand that this is a whole process, a whole cycle that you were stuck in of making yourself crave crap, making yourself exhausted, making yourself constantly hungry, making yourself fatigued, making yourself anxious. Does this all sound familiar? Like, really sit there. Does this sound familiar to you to be like, oh yeah, I used to do that often, or I still do it? Because there is a big hidden cost that people are not realizing that we have touched on, but we're really going to break it down when your blood sugar is imbalanced. It's not just about the sugar, it's really affecting your entire body. And we talked about the liver and we talked about it a little bit, but overworking your liver, which stores excess sugar as fat. When you are overworking your liver, it says, well, we can't use this sugar, so I'm going to store it as excess fat, which leads you to having fatty liver disease, right? Because your liver is sitting there storing it, trying to hope that maybe one day we'll figure it out. So not only are you having all these fragrances, all these toxic chemicals, and where you spray it on your body, you spray Febreze up in the air and you breathe it in. Now you're sitting here with fatty liver disease because now you have stored a bunch of excess sugar, because every single day you throw your blood sugar off with this processed sugar, these carbs, all this junk that you eat, and not enough nutrition and not enough stabilizing actions. Your kidneys struggle to filter out this excess glucose, which is sugar. So it's struggling, and now you're sitting here fighting, and you're at the risk of kidney disease if not developing it already. All because your body is sitting there trying to filter out something that is not possible because you're not giving it any help to filter out the glucose. So that's the liver and the kidney already being affected just because you haven't regulated your blood sugar. Now let's move on to the pancreas. Now your pancreas is sitting here overproducing insulin because that's the body's way of trying to rebalance this non-natural sugar with the natural sugar so that you can convert it into energy, which is not going to happen because your body cannot do anything with this non-natural junk. So eventually your pancreas gets worn out, which leads you to having diabetes. Because now your pancreas is not doing its job of producing natural insulin. You have insulin resistance. So now the liver, the kidney, and the pancreas are down bad and struggling, working overtime, internally aging your organs. Now let's move on to your heart. Your heart sits here every single time you spike your blood sugar, damages your blood vessels. Every single time you are spiking these blood sugar, every single time you are developing insulin resistance, you are damaging your blood vessels. And didn't we just talk about 5 to 10 minutes ago how the fact that when you are dealing with these issues, your cells are not replicating and reproducing like they should be? So that means you're damaging blood vessels and not replacing them the way that you should be. This increases your risk of having heart disease. This increases your risk of developing fatty liver, kidney disease, heart disease, and diabetes, all right there, because you've damaged your liver, your kidneys, your pancreas, and your heart. And we haven't even hit the hormonal imbalances. So let's talk about hormonal imbalances. When your hormones are thrown off because you don't have any stable habits when it comes to regulating your blood sugar, it causes your cortisol to spike. Your cortisol spikes, which is a stress hormone inside of your body, correct? And so now you're sitting here stressing your body out internally because your hormones are dysregulated because your insulin keeps spiking every single day because of the crap that you eat. You eat a bunch of processed sugars, you eat a whole bunch of excessive carbs, and you don't give your body the nutrients that you need, right? So now, not only are you stressed out internally, you're also having issues sleeping because you don't realize that when your cortisol is high, that's going to affect your sleep. And that comes from also food. It's not just, oh, I'm overworking and I'm overstressed by the people and the job and everything else in my life. It also comes from the foods that you're eating. So the nights that you're sitting up and you're thinking, oh, I'm so stressed out, this isn't working out for me. Also think about the foods that you've been eating. Also think about the crap that you've been eating and how unstable your blood sugar has been or it is. That causes hormonal imbalances. Hormonal imbalances cause a number of different issues, which also will all affect your liver, your kidney, your pancreas, and your heart. It's a full circle. I've been saying this and I will keep saying it. It's a full circle. You have to make the connections. There is not one single attribute of you, your body, this earth that are not connected, because everything is connected. That's the reason why the earth produces natural fruits and vegetables, because you're supposed to be eating of the earth. It's the reason why your pancreas, your liver, your heart, your kidneys all work together to balance. There's a reason why you have to have your hormones regulated for your kidney, your liver, your pancreas, and your heart to be working at full capacity, for your brain to be balanced. When your gut is off, your brain is off. There's a reason. So when are you going to sit there and realize that you have unconsciously been consuming, and that is your root cause of your problem? The key point for you to get out of this whole entire life is that your unconscious consuming is poisoning you and is causing problems. And most of us don't realize that, how much sugar that we are eating and processed foods that we are eating, because it's in everything. You don't even know what half of the ingredients are, because you just look at the label and see that it says, oh, this is vegan. Oh, this is low calorie. Oh, it has no added sugar in it. But you don't look on the back, and they can lie and say, oh, no added sugar, but still have added sugar, because they don't consider high fructose corn syrup is an added sugar. They don't consider you getting Splenda as an added sugar, because those are not natural sugars. They're just a different type of sugar alternative, a supplemental sugar. So that's not an added sugar. They can lie to you on these labels, and they will continue doing that. Like, they label it as health foods. And I think it's so funny how they have a health food section in all of these stores. What else is the other food then? And I saw that as a TikTok talking about that. Like, if we have health food sections, we have categories for health food. What's the rest of the food on the shelves? If we're supposed to be eating for our health and supporting our body with food, what's the rest of the foods on the shelf if we have a health food section? We have an entire Whole Foods store. Why is every grocery store not a Whole Foods? Why do we have to have a specific a specific store for Whole Foods? It's about what you eat and what you consume. And you're sitting there holding yourself back from your healing, all because you sit there and consume unconsciously and don't realize what you're doing to your body. So break free by using food as your medicine. Understanding how you can do it, because it's not complicated. It's just about becoming conscious. It's about becoming aware, understanding the energetics between what you eat and how you need to be eating spiritually rich and alive food versus spiritually dead food. All this processed food, all these chemicals, all these additives and fillers, all this junk. Healing starts with you removing the blocks, because you're blocking it. You're literally blocking the internal healing inside of your body, all because of the processed foods, the sugars, the additives, the fillers, the chemicals, all of the crap that you want to eat is blocking your body on the inside when it comes to your arteries, when it comes to your weight fluctuation. All that's a block. You dealing with diabetes, you having blood sugar spikes, insulin resistance, that's a block. Replace them with real natural foods, whole foods that come from plant-based sources, natural foods that come from the earth, that nourish you and to support your body and to give you natural healing, that support you in natural healing that you deserve. Because the benefits of going plant-based are literally endless. Like, the benefits outweigh anything else that they give you with eating for your blood type, you eating this certain way, you sitting here working out and doing this type of diet of paleo and keto and all these different things that they give you momentary facades for, you doing Jenny Craig and Weight Watchers. None of that is going to give you what you need. But when you sit there and start to use food as your medicine to regulate your blood sugar, to balance your hormones, the fiber slows down your sugar absorption, which helps you be able to take care of your body, stabilizes your blood sugars. Antioxidants help you reduce the inflammation. It helps you repair that cell damage, and it helps you overall repair that insulin resistance that has been going on inside of your body for years on end. Because you have to repair what you have damaged. It helps you repair those cells, support those cells, so that you are now replicating like you should be. Thanks for the follows and the likes, guys. The nutrients that you gain from fruits and vegetables, the actual nutrients and natural nutrients, helps you balance your hormones. And it's also supporting your energy production, helps you support your energy regulation. So you're not sitting there by 12 o'clock feeling like you have to take a nap. Studies are showing more and more that plant-based lifestyles reduce the risk of you having type 2 diabetes by 23% at least. Understanding how to eat plant-based completely and regularly, not just eating vegan, will help you be able to heal from diabetes and prevent it more than this 23%. Because that 23% is also based on the vegans that don't care about their health. They only care about animals. And that it's insane to me that these vegans out here care about animals more than their actual health. Why are you even doing it? Like, really break it down. If you don't even care about your own self to the point where you're rather care for an animal, why are you even doing it? Because how can you care for something else before you put the care and the love towards yourself first? Just my personal opinion. Healing can start fast for you. Healing can start and it can be efficient and quick. Like, let's really be honest. It can be made simple and it can be quick. It's not going to be the easiest process because this is not something that you're naturally normal. It's naturally normal to you. That's a subconscious thought because nobody in your family has done this. Nobody in my family had done it. So it was not something that was just like the back of my hand. Oh, I know it. But it can be fast and it can be made simple within a few weeks of switching into a plant-based lifestyle by knowing what you're cooking and knowing what you're doing. You can reduce your inflammation, you can gain your energy back, you can regulate your blood sugar, you can sit there and balance your gut, you can sit there and help your brain be regulated, all by making more plant-based foods. Think about, if you were sitting there thinking about all the things that you won't be able to do, think about if you did go plant-based, what's the worst thing that could happen? Like, if you go plant-based, what is the worst thing? And actually do it correctly, not just sit here and just eat a bunch of vegan products and think that this is the way you go. Actually do it correctly. Learn how to do it correctly. Whether you educate yourself with all the free content that I have on YouTube, I literally have a plant-based mastery playlist, or sitting there tapping into my program, or getting into my cleansing code, getting into my plant-based cookbook, just starting to learn how to make plant-based meals. What's the worst thing that could happen for you? If I'm telling you, it has helped me heal my body from many different things. It's helped many other people because I have plenty of success stories. I literally have from my other clients, my past clients, talk about how helpful it's been with my cookbook, how supportive it's been for them to eat plant-based, how their life has been since they've gone plant-based. But also realizing that they've never been taking care of their body and they've never been healing because they weren't eating correctly. So what's the worst thing could happen if you go plant-based? If your body is healing, you're guaranteed healing if you're doing it correctly. It can be simplified, so it's not hard, it's not difficult for you. What else can go wrong? What else can go wrong? Because the steps that start healing start today. You have to take action today. There is no, oh, I'm going to wait until 2025. There's no reason for you to wait. You could be walking into 2025 healed, feeling good, ready. If you are ready to cleanse and you are ready to reset your body, I didn't start my plant-based lifestyle with cleansing. I started with cooking recipes, but some people like to cleanse before they do different things. Some people just need a cleanse overall because they've been eating junk for the whole year. Maybe you feel bloated and you just have a vacation or something. My cleansing code, which is a bundle of $7 total, will allow you to reset your body fully, flush out all these toxins, and to restore balance inside of your body, all by using these methods that are broken down into 7 different books, which one of them is a template guide. The other ones are inflammation help, gut health, fruit and vegetable cleansing. There's a fasting guide. And then the last one I've skipped on microplastics, getting those and expelling those, and understanding how to support your body, all by using food as your medicine and breaking down the different nutrients of a category of rainbow foods. Create healthy habits so that you can sit here and start to support your body and to learn how to help your body heal, so you're not harming it and blocking it, but rather supporting it. And you can do that easily if you tap into my plant-based cookbook that will support you in not feeling deprived and not feeling alone in the process, and also understanding how to make your own plant-based meals. All of these are linked in my bio. And if you are ready to commit to a long-term change, if you are ready to see that change, I do have a 12-week program that will walk you step by step through that, give you one-on-one calls with me, also complete access to me and support by me with my strategies, with the ways that you can make your plant-based meals. And we go through that. We have master classes during that program. We also talk about through that program how to make your own non-toxic products. So we have workshops. We show you, I show you and support you through the process of also understanding how to make your own plant-based medicine, and we have a workshop doing that as well. All of these things combined, by the end of the 12 weeks, you will be able to literally sustain the lifestyle that you deserve and that you need for you to be healing constantly, and for you to give this to your children, pass this on to your children, and give it to your family members if you help them, if they desire and you want to help them and you know they need support. This will give you everything that you need to live a plant-based lifestyle like I do. Because I've been in this lifestyle for 4 whole years, and I'm telling you, I will not go back. Ever. There's no reason for me to go back. Sustaining this lifestyle has been pretty simple since I established the habits that I needed, that I didn't have in the beginning. I learned how to support myself. I learned how to really deal with my body and to support my body and to not just manage every single day. Because I didn't have any energy before. I was suffering from knee pain because of all the inflammation. I had painful menstrual cycles because of all the inflammation. I had developed asthma in high school when nobody in my family has asthma from inflammation. I healed all of that. And I show you how to do all of that in that 12-week program. I show you how to do all of that in the cleansing code. I show you how to make plant-based meals in my cookbook. They're all linked in my bio. They're super simple recipes, super simple cleansing code guide through that. And that program is completely broken down for the simplest form possible so that you can literally, like I said, you could take a child and teach them the stuff that I'm teaching you in there. That's how simple it's made. That's how it's broken down. That's how simple I made it for myself. Because there's no reason to make it difficult. There's no reason to make it hard. Because then you're not going to want to do it. If you keep ignoring what is going on inside of your body, these warning signs like we talked about all throughout this live, it's not going to get any better on its own, and it's only going to deteriorate your body throughout the time. It's only going to make it worse, which is going to cost you not only money in the end, but it's going to cost you your health, it's going to cost you your time, and then eventually it's going to lead you to costing your life. Why keep doing that to yourself when you can start today and heal? Like I said, be transformed by 2025. Be sitting there looking good and feeling good, not craving all this junk, but healing and actually feeling the power of your body healing and understanding the power that the Most High has given you, because He literally gave you a healing vessel of your body. As I always say, if you can drop your questions down before I do get off. If, like I always say, you can get every single thing that I list in my bio with Klarna, Affirm, or Afterpay. It's super, super simple for you to support yourself. Thank you so much for these gifts. I appreciate you. Thank you. Because imagine in 6 months, less than 6 months, let's even just say imagine that 12-week program, by the end of that 12-week program, you don't feel fatigued anymore. You don't feel like it's a constant battle anymore. Imagine in 6 months, you're no longer craving on the crap that you did. Imagine in 6 months how your body has transformed, whether you're wanting to gain or to lose weight, maintain a healthy weight, heal from whatever you have going on. Think about what is waiting for you if you just make the right choices and change your habits. What is waiting for you if you just literally today decide that I'm going to try out plant-based meals, so I'm going to get this cookbook so I can see how easy these beginner guide meals are? What is going to be your first step? Even just tapping into my free content on YouTube of understanding your plant-based mastery. Start watching those, getting all the information that you need of what you need to do, why you need to do it, what is going on. And elevate the process of you learning how to take care of your body and seeing the impact. Thank you so much for the follows. If you have any questions, guys, drop them down. I think I just saw a question a minute ago. Thank you for all these gifts. I really appreciate it. Any plant-based proteins? All of them. Any plant-based proteins to recommend? All of them. The only thing that I don't recommend is soy. No soy products. But there are plenty of different plant-based proteins. There are so many different plant-based proteins that are slept on. Like, I love mushrooms, and I did not like mushrooms beforehand. Mushrooms, chickpeas, lentils, legumes in general, beans. There's so many different plant-based proteins. And so, like, I break down literally in the cookbook. We don't talk about all the nutrition necessarily, because that's something that I have in my diabetes cookbook guide. If you are ready for that, I am going to release the pre-sale. I'm thinking to release the pre-sale next week, because this week is kind of moving by kind of fast for me, and I want to make sure that I have everything set and ready for the pre-sale. But I am coming out with a plant-based diabetes healing guide, and it's going to break down literally every single aspect you need of nutrition, because when you have diabetes, you have to get all of these key points so that you can have the balance, just like we talked about all through here. But that plant-based cookbook is going to be your guide of stepping into your healing choices and your healing recipes and understanding. And so that does break down your plant-based proteins and what you need, as well as like each meal or each recipe, it can be combined together, which is going to hit all the aspects of protein. You getting iron, you getting your magnesium, you getting all these different things. Well, I don't promote eating for your blood type, because the people who promote eating for your blood type, really, truly, most of them, a majority of them are eating dairy and they're eating meat. As well as the fact that when you're eating for your blood type, it really makes no sense, because when you break it down how they tell you, well, you're type A, you're type O, or whatever else, so you should eat this is good for you. Soy causes hormonal imbalance. We're going to touch on tofu first. Soy causes hormonal imbalances because it's a plant-based hormone. And yes, like I said, like, people talk about how the fact, I've talked about this in my past lives, that it's a natural source of estrogen. So at the end of the day, as long as it's a natural source, it doesn't matter if it's plant, it doesn't matter if it's not, your body does not regulate that. And there are plenty of studies that talk about, and I am a witness of following that facade of I can eat soy, it's okay. It causes hormonal imbalances, which makes a spike in your estrogen. So your natural estrogen raises to combat the non-natural estrogen that is not the estrogen that comes from your body. And so in men, that lowers your testosterone. In women, it causes a double intake of estrogen, which we don't need, which causes issues like fibroids, PCOS, infertility issues, all these different things that go on. Hormonal imbalances affect more than just your reproductive. It also causes issues when it comes to your brain balance. It causes issues with your gut. It can cause a number of different issues outside of just the reproductive. And so I don't consume soy, and I don't promote anybody consuming soy. And I've been plant-based for 4 years. The first year I consumed soy, I cut it out, and I saw a complete difference in my body and my menstrual cycle. Now, far as eating for your blood type, when you think about eating for your blood type and how they're telling you, well, you're type O, you're type A, you should go get tofu. If you were eating a rainbow plate of all the foods that you need and you're hitting every single category of, okay, I have my vitamin C, my vitamin A, my minerals, my different types of proteins and irons and all these different things, and you're hitting all the categories, what reason would you have to eat for your blood type and to follow something, a regimen specifically for your blood type, if you're eating everything that you need? Because every single body needs that. It's not like your body doesn't need vitamin A. Like you're just the exception of, oh, you don't need vitamin A. Everybody needs vitamin A. Everybody needs protein. Everybody needs fiber. So why would you need to eat for your blood type if you're eating everything that you need? I mean, that's just from my observation and my studies and what I've taught clients and teaching with them and talking with them. For the people that have come to me that eat for their blood type, who are recommended by different doctors, and I tell them the same thing. If you're eating everything that you need, why would you have to focus on eating for your blood type? It said go to a Whole Foods store to get the ingredients for a whole plant-based foods. You don't have to necessarily go to a Whole Foods store. They do have the best variety from what I've heard. I think I've maybe been in a Whole Foods one time. I was like, I don't remember because it's so far from me. We're getting one soon, but it's so far from me, I don't ever really go. And then the other one is like very inconveniently downtown, like straight downtown, and I'm not trying to find parking. I'm not trying to park in their parking garage. Like, I'm not trying to do all that. It's just too much. So I shop a lot at like Costco. I have a Costco and a BJ's wholesale membership. I shop a lot there so I can get like, for instance, carrots in bulk. I can get like my mushrooms in bulk. I can get like all of the different things that I need in bulk, like spinach and all those things that I know that like I eat on a regular. If I'm cooking spinach dip or if I'm cooking mushrooms or whatever, I can get a whole bunch in a variety. So I don't have to necessarily keep running back and forth to the store, and I preserve them correctly so they don't go bad for like my fruits and my vegetables. And that's certain things that I show you in the program. I show you how to preserve things so you can buy in bulk so you don't have to fear for your things going bad, as well as prepping so that you feel prepared throughout the weeks, so you don't feel like you have to struggle every single day or cook every single day or do X, Y, and Z every single day, because you have enough prepped so that you feel comfortable and you feel supported for those days that you've worked hard, you feel tired. And it's not just a diet where you're just going to do this, but this shows you the lifestyle habits that you have to incorporate that a lot of us aren't taught. And so another thing that I do for myself to help myself out is, for instance, like if I go to BJ's or if I go to like Costco or whatever else, I try to get as much as I can far as what they have, so then I have those things and I don't have to keep running back and forth to the store. I'm a person who doesn't like to go to the store, so I try not to keep running back and forth. So I make the days that I have to go to the grocery store the easiest days for me. So if I know I'm going to the grocery store, oh, maybe I'm gonna already be near a plant-based place, a vegan place that I know that I can get something good that doesn't have a bunch of inflammatory food. Oh, I already have leftovers, so I'm just gonna go run to the store so I can heat up my leftovers. Like, these are the kind of things that we learn in the program and we talk about to tailor it to your lifestyle, to make it easier for you to incorporate, especially for the people, because I have a lot of mothers that come to me. And I tell them the different things to break it down, to talk to them about the fact that like you can get your baby incorporated in this lifestyle as well as make it easier for you, because I have parents that come to me and they're talking about like, my child doesn't like to eat greens, my child doesn't like to eat fruits. And I'm like, okay, well, why are you just sitting there giving them a fruit or a vegetable, knowing that like you don't sit here and just eat broccoli by itself? You don't like that. You didn't like that. You don't just sit here and throw a bunch of fruits on a plate if you know you don't like apples. Like, make it, dress it up, make it look fun, give them a different recipe of some sort, help them make, like, cook it together. Like, there are certain things for you to incorporate, and this is what we teach in the program to tailor it, because everybody has a different lifestyle. Some people have kids, some people don't, some people live alone, some people have a partner. And so these are the things that we discuss in our initial, like, first call when you get into the program, of understanding what's going to happen, us touching bases on what we expect in the program, what you're needing from me, you know, what we're going to go through, covering the basis of what we're going to talk about throughout the weeks, breaking the weeks down, all these different things. I love Sprouts. I've been to Sprouts probably, I think I've been to Sprouts at least 2 times. Like I said, that is also another one that's pretty far from me, so I don't go to Sprouts often. No, I think I've been to Sprouts like 3 or 4 times. I don't go to Sprouts often, but the only reason why, like, I don't is because it's far. Because they have the yogurt that doesn't have all the crap in it that I absolutely love. They have the milk. I think it's milk, M-A-L-K, milk. They have that milk. That's a really good milk brand, no additives. They also have the, what is it? It's like Califina, C-A-L-F-I-N-A. I think that's what it is. It's another milk that went through a whole scandal last year. They have all the additives and all the junk in it. They have the one from that brand that has nothing in it. It's literally just water. I think it's water, oats, or coconut, whatever it is. I don't remember exactly what milk it is. They have that one that has no added sugar, has no added stuff in it. And so, like, Sprouts has some really good options. It's very limited, but they have some very good options for, like, your fruits and your veggies and stuff like that. Or not really limited, but rather I just prefer not to spend all that money on all of their produce and fruit when I can get it from Costco. You know what I mean? So it's like I can buy in bulk for a lot of different things. But what other questions do you have for me before I get off? If you have any questions, drop them down for me. If not, I'll have me some, actually, I'm going to go grab my ginger tea really quickly while y'all drop them down. Drop me some comments if you have any questions. Drop them down. Because I made some ginger tea. The other day. It wasn't bad. So I added some cranberry in it. It obviously has ginger. I think I added cranberry, ginger. I think I added blue lotus flower, fenugreek, and one other thing that I can't think of off the top of my head currently right now. But it's really good. And for the ladies, this is a little tip for the ladies that are having issues with their hormones regulation as far as like painful menstrual cycles or anything like that. Get you some fenugreek and see how your life changes. Whether it's the powder, whether it's the seed to make tea, whatever it is that you do. I used to literally take fenugreek shots. So I would just like mix it up with a little bit of warm water and take it like a shot. It was disgusting. But see how your hormones balance after that. And like I said, if you like all the tips and the little strategies and the stuff that I give you, if you like all of that and you need more, you know that it's going to support you, you know you need a change and a shift in your health, tap into that program. These are the little things that I show you throughout those whole 12 weeks of what I do every single day for myself, how I support my body. And this right here, like this ginger tea, for example, is going to flush you out without making you feel like you have to go back and forth to the bathroom. It's going to help you flush yourself out without having to sit here and do all these different tinctures and supplements and medications and all these different things that they're telling you to, oh, do the Jenny Craig and this Weight Watchers and go get this pill for you to lose weight. Get you something as simple as this, mix it up, and see how it affects your body. See how it changes. You might not necessarily like the ginger. That's what it is. The other thing, I put some lemon in here. Put different combinations together. You don't have to sit here and just drink ginger and water or tea and whatever else. Like, make it enjoyable for yourself. I add a little bit of agave in here and boom, I'm set. This tastes like juice. Like, it's no problem. Like, it's kind of like a Sprite without the fizz. Like, you know those Sprites where they had I don't know if they still have flavored Sprites. I stopped drinking soda years ago. But those flavored Sprites that they had, and I don't remember what the flavor was exactly, but it's like a flavored Sprite, like a cranberry, like a flavored cranberry Sprite without the fizz. Not bad. Super good. But I'm not seeing any questions. If you guys have any questions, drop them down. If not, I'm going to hop off. I'm gonna drink my drink and stop clanking in y'all's ear. I'm gonna finish our wellness email for the rest of this month. We're gonna do our and if you're not on my email list, you need to go ahead and join, because every single Wednesday we send out wellness Wellness Wednesday emails. I do call them Wellness Woman Wednesday emails just because we have a lot of women on our email list, but anybody can be in our email list, obviously. It's just talking about wellness and what's going on in our world. The link is in my bio. It's just talking about what's going on in our world, different strategies and tips that I have, information that I learn and that I share with you. And if they take TikTok away from us, that's a great way for you to be able to know where I am going live, to be able to stay in touch with me, because if they do take TikTok, we will definitely be on my email list, and I'm going to be talking to y'all, telling y'all where we're going to go, because I don't know where we're going to go, but we'll go somewhere. Instagram just does not have my heart anymore. We were on there before we could go live on TikTok, but I don't know. Okay, well, I'm not seeing any more questions. I really, really, truly hope that this live has supported you. And if you have any questions after I get off live and you're, or you feel like that you don't want to ask in front of others and you're just stuck, or you feel like you need support, or if you have any questions about any products or services, if you have any questions about the program, please DM me. My DMs are always open. If I have anything that I can steer you towards, far as like, oh, I have this cookbook, I have this ebook, I have this or that, I will recommend that, because I've done all the work. It's there for you to have. It's in your access. It's a matter of if you want to go get it. But if you're not ready for change, don't DM me. Please don't DM me if you're not ready to do anything about it. Like, I'm not saying I'm just going to be like, oh, buy this. I'm going to help you. But if I have something to recommend you to, I will recommend you to that. Like, don't come in here if you're not ready for change. Don't come in here getting offended. Like, it is what it is. It's either you want to change or you don't, because you have all the access to the free information just like I do, and you're doing nothing with it. So I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Take this and really leave this information in your brain so that you use it and don't just sit on it, but rather share it, use it, share my live, share my account to anybody that needs it, and allow yourself to understand that your body is a healing vessel and you should be healing. So what are you doing that's not keeping you healing, and what's blocking you? Get to the root cause of the issue and then see how your body changes and it heals. So I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'm out.